Last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder extended their winning streak to 8 games, taking down the Memphis Grizzlies with commanding 125-104 victory in their 64th game of the season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, after missing 7 games due to a hip injury, made a stunning return to the court, pouring in 37 points, showcasing his exceptional skill and poise. Alongside him, all-star guard Jalen Williams also marked his return to the Thunder lineup, contributing 20 points to the dominant win. With the victory, Oklahoma City continues to solidify its position, currently holding the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, although their lead over the Denver Nuggets remains razor-thin, just 2 games ahead. Over in the Eastern Conference, playoff races are intensified with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, and New York Knicks securing spots in the postseason. These teams have been consistent throughout the season, earning their places among the elite in the East. Yet, as the playoffs draw nearer, analysts are left to consider what path will be the more difficult, the loaded West or the seemingly more straightforward Eastern Conference. The conversation quickly shifts to what makes the Eastern Conference so formidable. Many pundits, including the likes of Kendrick Perkins, point to the colossal challenge posed by the Celtics. Their depth, particularly with MVP-caliber performances from Jason Tatum, positions them as an insurmountable force in the East. In fact, some believe that the Celtics are a wall that no other team in the East can get past. There is no denying the Celtics' consistency throughout the season, having become a well-oiled machine that continues to turn heads in every game they play. While teams like Cleveland and others may pose challenges, they have not yet proven that they can consistently compete with the Celtics' juggernaut. On the other hand, the West presents a different set of challenges, albeit with more unpredictability. The Oklahoma City Thunder, despite their impressive rise this season, are still viewed by many as underdogs, especially when compared to heavyweights in the West. Despite their early success and the continued growth of young stars like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, there remains a lingering sense that the Thunder have not yet been tested by the elite teams in the West in a way that would allow them to be considered true contenders. The question now looms: can Oklahoma City stand tall in a stacked Western Conference that features powerhouse teams like the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and more? As analysts debate the easier path to finals, the West's potential for chaos cannot be ignored. In this conference, matchups are everything, and even the most experienced teams could be appended in a high-stakes, tight series. Still, when compared to the Celtics' dominance in the East, the Western Conference's unpredictability gives the impression that there may be more opportunities for surprises and upsets. Yet, despite the uncertainty, one thing remains clear: the Celtics are the team to beat in the East. They continue to prove that they are head and shoulders above their competition. Their recent blowout of the Phoenix Suns, even without Jason Tatum on the court, was yet another reminder of their power. When fully healthy, the Celtics' depth and star power make them a nearly insurmountable roadblock for any opponent. In contrast, while the Western Conference offers no shortage of talented teams, the absence of a dominant, undeniable force like Boston creates a more open path. Teams such as the Nuggets and Thunder may be formidable in their own right, but they do not yet have the same kind of overwhelming presence that Boston brings to the table. Until one of these Western contenders proves otherwise, it is difficult to dismiss Boston's place as a top contender in the NBA. This year's playoff is shaping up to be one of the most exciting and unpredictable in recent memory, as both conferences feature teams that are poised to make deep runs. However, the central question remains: can anyone in the East challenge the Celtics, or is the only real challenge left in the West? As the playoffs approach, fans and analysts alike will be keeping a close eye on every game, knowing that what happens in the coming weeks could shape the NBA landscape for years to come.